Hey people, it's Khadroth here, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about some tips that I think can help free-to-play players improve their overall efficiency in the game. Let's go ahead and start with the first. So number one is going to be, don't let your AP rot. Basically, it's going to be the concept of your AP efficiency. As you guys can see here, this is my JP account. It's my cheap to play account. I basically only do GSSRs on it. And my goal here is to never let my AP hit cap. Why? Well, it should be obvious. Every single second that my AP sits at cap is opportunity lost, basically. I could be doing other free quests, I could be doing other events, and trying to get the most I can out of the game. So time management tends to be a big factor for a lot of free-to-plays. And I'm not about to tell you guys, hey, you can't let real life get in the way of the game and all that sort of stuff. Your real life has to come first. But obviously there are things you can do to structure your playtime such that your AP won't rot. I get that school, I get that work, I get that family all come and get in the way at times. That is perfectly fine, and I understand that. But your goal should never be to get so far behind. Because a big factor that I see a lot of free-to-plays doing here is they end up just sort of using their apples to try and compensate. They basically end up saying, oh, okay, I couldn't log in for the past 3 days, so I'm just gonna rush the event and use all my apples. Don't do that. It's much better if you just find the time and take the time to play on a daily basis, even if it does seem a little bit like a chore at times. If you do that though, you won't have to waste these apples, and you will have more to use later at certain points in time when you actually really want them. So that can be a really big factor for free-to-plays. The other thing is, like I already sort of hinted at here, basically they'll end up getting too late in an event. They'll go, oh crap, I only have 3 days, 2 days, 1 day left in an event. I've got to finish it. I've got to do something. And so they'll end up sitting here and going, oh, well, I need the welfare out of the event. And they'll end up having to pop all those apples to try and make up for it. Again, we also have people that basically don't do this and they just forego the welfare. The real problem with this sort of thing is welfares are again going to be your best bang for your buck type of unit. They're a free unit that the game gives us that is a pseudo 5-star. And the reason they're a pseudo 5-star is because they're a 4-star that we've been given all 5 copies of. This is why it's so important to complete all of these events and get your welfares. And the same thing goes for the shops. You don't have to fully clear a shop. You can certainly leave certain aspects of the shop available. As you guys can see here, this is my case files rerun here. And now I did play the first time, so I didn't need to buy the craft essences again. But certainly I got all of the materials out of the shop, everything that I needed for Ascensions. And then I basically ended up with the time that was left using that 90+ node in order to clear out the little rest of the tidbits that I thought were worthy. I didn't end up getting all the statues and monuments, but I got enough to sort of subsist me, because again, something I've noticed that is a real problem, especially for newer accounts, is going to end up being our statues, our silver statues here. Because we don't really get that lotto anymore to bail us out like the old players had back in the day with the Da Vinci lotto. As such, you do slowly have to get statues and monuments on your own. Thankfully, the new tutorial missions help out with that some, but this is sort of what I'm trying to say, is you need to get everything that you need out of a shop. That doesn't have to be the whole shop, but try to get stuff like crystallized lores, like craft essences that are new to you, like your welfare. That is going to be your chief priority. And then obviously your essential materials, because some of the best AP efficiency is in these events for acquiring these materials. Otherwise, you're going to have to go farm them in a free quest, and that is not a fast process. It's a lot more efficient to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, to get the event done and also clear the shop in the process. That's what's really going to help you. That's what's going to improve your efficiency. So now point number 2 here is going to be, I want free-to-plays to improve their outlook. I see a lot of free-to-plays that get very defeatist. They get very down on themselves and they think, I could do this if I were a whale. I can't do it though because I'm free-to-play. You guys need to stop with that mantra. That does you no good. It doesn't help you in any way, shape, or form. In fact, it just increases the odds of you giving up and not trying to do things that you can do that can really help you out. So just to jump over to my account here, again, remember, this is a cheap to play account. It's not perfectly free to play, so you can see some nice SSRs here. Definitely some of them I've got via GSSR, others I've gotten via luck. But my point here is not to flex. My point here is to show you something else. to show you that even a cheap to play account that doesn't have that much more advantage over a free to play account can still do one thing that's pretty astounding. It can level all of its units. Literally everything on this account is level. That's something that I think a lot of free-to-plays think, oh, that can't be done. There's no way in hell that I'm going to ever achieve this level of account depth, this level of account investment. You can. A lot of it is just the result of being diligent. Again, going back to that first point, it's literally not letting my AP rot. It's getting the most out of my apples. It's clearing all the events that are in my way. This sort of stuff can be done even as a free-to-play. So again, when I see people that are sitting here saying, oh, well, that's just because you're a whale or something. No, that's not true. You guys can do a lot of stuff even as a free-to-play that still whales themselves can do as well. So a lot of it is just, you know, capabilities. How efficient can you be in events? How efficient can you be with farming? That is certainly an argument to be made. There are problems that I think free-to-plays have with acquiring supports and stuff like that, but you can certainly tailor your roles to help your account out. That's basically the philosophy that I used with this account. I started out trying to get the supports that I needed to get this account online, and that freed me up then once I got them to roll for whatever the heck else I wanted. It allowed me to go after my waifus and husbandos as I saw fit. So that's something I'm telling you, you guys can all do. You guys can all try to structure that if you want and still do it either on a budget or, again, totally free to play. This play style is not unique to whales. This is where I'm saying, again, your attitude and your investment in the game, it doesn't have to be monetary, is what's ultimately going to determine your success. So again, I think another way of saying this is you guys should pursue loftier goals. You can do anything if you try. As long as you set your mind to it, you will be fine. Just when you grind, when you use those apples, do it with purpose. Know what you're doing and why you're doing it. Definitely make sure that you have a plan. The next point here is going to be right back to the same place that we were already at. And that's that you guys need to finish your units. I see a lot of free-to-play players that spread their embers around, they get map locked on certain things, and they don't end up finishing. Finish the units that you're already in progress on. Stop starting new ones so much. If you get stuck, go do what you need to get that unit unstuck. That can be a huge thing, especially for an early account. If you guys can focus certain units up, your account is going to be that much better for it. So again, you guys can level as many units as you want, and you get a lot of reward for doing so. You get all the milestones that you can complete. You can bond them for additional apples and quartz. You can also do their strengthenings and interludes to make them better. So the whole point with this is it's expanding the capability of your account. It's giving you more options and less things that the game could throw at you that you wouldn't have a solution for. So while this point may be very brief because it sort of deals with that prior point some, it is important to understand that you guys need to finish, not just be half-hearted in your committals. So you might be asking me now for this fourth point, well, Cad, how do I do anything about that? How is it that you're able to plot all of this out and plan it? That's going to be the fourth point. Plan your account accordingly. I've talked to you guys about this before. I have numerous other videos sort of dealing with this type of thing, but you guys should definitely activate some sort of plan for your account. This involves putting your units into some sort of system where you can actually see what their needs are and who you would like to invest in. You can tailor it how you want it, but it's going to make you more informed and get you an idea of what it is that you need. So how I do this is I use an app called the Chaldea app, and you guys can see I already have a video on this on the channel. I'll go ahead and put the link on screen right now. But again, you guys can certainly use this to help plot out your needs. And again, like if I come in here to statistics, you can see now, while this is my NA account, this is my whale account, I need a whole lot of stuff. but I can subtract out what I've already put in here as what I own. I can subtract out the amount I'm going to get from events if I have them turned on, and you can see the numbers become a little bit more doable, a little bit more able to be dealt with. So while it might seem daunting once you get everything plotted into one of these, you can certainly try to figure out, hey, who is it that I need? Who do I need to focus on? You can set up a plan in these sorts of things, and again, try to actually figure out your investment level and what you want to do for each of these. So it's very good for helping yourself into the future as to knowing where you want to farm, how you want to farm, and being able to do it with purpose. The next point I'm going to tell you guys about here is going to be point number 5. It's going to be do your half-cost campaigns. So what does that mean? Obviously, that's obvious, Cad, right? We should do half-cost campaigns for interludes, strengthenings, yada, yada, yada. I'm not just talking about that. I'm also talking about taking advantage of story campaigns, if you're maybe not done. Taking advantage of free quest campaigns. So again, this is stuff that a lot of people already realize, but they maybe sacrifice some efficiency because they get impatient. Now, story is definitely one thing. There are advantages to having story completed and unlocked. You get access to the free quests, for instance. So that one I understand probably the most out of all of them. But again, when it comes to strengthenings and interludes, for instance, we can say, unless it's a pivotal interlude that you have to have done right now, you can certainly delay until you get into one of those half-cost campaigns, and then you're going to end up having more efficiency. Your AP will get stretched further as a result of this. You will be able to do more with your AP because you took advantage of the half cost, because you planned accordingly and waited. Same thing goes for free quests. I see a lot of free-to-play players that go out there and just do all their free quests immediately because they're so desperate for QUARTZ. You can do that, but you could also just be patient and wait. Think of how many free quests it is that you do throughout your entire time in FGO, where if you had at least waited for the half-cost campaign, how much AP you would have ended up saving? It would be in the thousands. You would have that much more AP just because you cut it in half. Now, you don't have to do this for all of them. There's certain key free quests that you maybe are going to want to farm, so you don't want to have to wait for a half-cost campaign. That's fine. Go ahead and do that if you need to do it. But the other ones, you don't need them. Just leave them. And then you'll get the QUARTZ when you get the QUARTZ. I understand the desperation maybe for a specific banner, but that in and of itself can be a problem. And that's why my last point here is going to be save. Stop spending on every banner. This is definitely something I see free-to-plays do all the time. They end up rolling on every single banner, and then when it comes to the unit they actually wanted, they don't have the QUARTZ. They go, I rolled 200 QUARTZ and I didn't get what I want. This game sucks. Well, you probably ended up blowing your load on other people that you didn't have to have. You maybe got in the moment and decided that you liked them. Guess what? It's a gacha game. That's the entire point of it. Their goal is to tempt you with those units. Their goal is to make their personalities really nice, really amazing. Now, far be it for me to tell you who to roll on and who not to. But certainly, maybe if we look back at some of those, we didn't need all of those units. We could have done without. It's why I try to make a big point of telling you guys, hey, you don't have to roll every unit. There's maybe a couple that you can get that are going to expand the capabilities, like the supports, but as long as you have them, you're going to be golden to roll on whatever else you do want to roll on. So that's where this point really comes to tie it all in. You need to have AP efficiency to get what you want for your units, and you need to have a plan for your units. But planning your units also means planning your roles for them. If you guys do that, you will be able to be way more efficient in this game and save for what you actually want. Show patience. Don't roll for everything. A lot of other people out there are going to tell you to roll for every single unit under the sun. They're going to try to tempt you just as much as the game will. But I'm always going to sit here and tell you guys, you don't have to have them all. You can do a lot on a budget or free to play. That should be your goal. Try to make the most out of the resources you have. I hope this video helped you guys. I hope it gave you some food for thought. In the meantime, you guys can always check me out at 7 p.m. Eastern time on Twitch, where I stream weeknights. I always start with FGO first. You guys can always come in and ask me any sort of questions you have, or again, get on the Discord or follow me on Twitter. Both those places, I'd be more than happy to help you, or even the community there can help you out on Discord. Again, we have a great community there with the guides, with the ability to answer questions for anything you might have, or again, even get on friends lists and help out that way. So I will see you guys for the next one. Have a good one. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Peace.